Hey, everybody, welcome to the Jamal Bryant Let's Be Clear podcast. I am over the moon excited that you all have really pushed us further than we ever dreamed, thought, or imagined. Literally, I can say, like McDonald's, millions have been served. We have just crossed the 2 million mark, and we want to go even further. I need you to do me a favor. I need you to like, I need you to share, and I need you to follow on our brand new YouTube page. Wherever platform you're watching or listening, you are locked in, but I need all of your friends and all of your family to be connected to this amazing movement that is changing the podcast world. Today, we are going into a whole nother stratosphere. I'm telling you, you've got to get your oxygen tank in level because we're going deeper, we're going higher, we're going further. One of the generation's most courageous thought leaders in the world of finance, in the words of futurism, and in the world of critical analysis is with me on today. Affectionately, he used to be my little brother, but now he's looking me in the eye. I am so glad to have Anthony O'Neal with us on today.
You still my big brother.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Let me hold something.
Hey, man, well, you got it.
Yeah.
I actually gonna have the shoes, and you told me I couldn't.
No. Just I'm an adult side. But let me say, a lot of you follow him, you listen to him, you take notes from him. I want to go backwards because what a lot of you may not know is where I met Anthony O'Neal. He was a youth pastor. He was not there. I don't know if you even remember the call you made to me that you were getting ready to leave and you weren't sure what Bishop was going to say.
Absolutely. I was nervous.
Yes.
That was one of your close friends.
Yes.
And I said, I need wisdom on how to do this right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did my doctoral work, my dissertation on the theology of William Shakespeare.
Okay.
That Shakespeare went to seminary and dropped out and said he could reach more people through the arts than he can through the pulpit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You left ministry, or at least the traditional track as we know it, but you are really the Archbishop of Marketplace Ministry. I want you to really walk the people through on how finance is a ministry, how coaching is a ministry, and ministry in this landscape does not require a microphone.
Yeah, you know, when you and I first met, I was a youth pastor for one of the greatest bishops in the world, Bishop Rudolph McKissick Jr. And the reason why we grew such a strong youth ministry was because on Wednesdays, he allowed me to teach practical skills.
Yes.
And teaching practical skills, I was teaching money.
Wow.
I was teaching them about what is a credit card, what is how to get your college finance, how to even go out on a date, and how should the young man pay for the date.
Right.
And so what I started learning was, wow, young people and people want to learn about money, but they're not really getting the education at school. They're not getting the education at home. And unfortunately, we can't give them everything on Sunday mornings from the pulpit.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, wait a minute. This information is needed, but no one's really teaching it from a biblical perspective.
Right.
So that's when I started realizing my ministry wasn't necessarily with the mic preaching the way, Dr. Jamal Bryant can preaching the way a Dr. Bishop Rudolph McKissick can preach, because I'm not y'all.
Right.
But God gave me the gift to understand money and how to teach that from a biblical way. So I said, okay, God, let me start pursuing that. And then I started noticing while we were touching maybe about 1,000, 2,000 kids throughout the week, throughout the ministry there, God is saying, I called you to touch not just kids, but people.
Wow.
Millions via a different megaphone, which was YouTube, which was podcasting, which was going around the churches and teaching. But he really called me outside of the four walls of the market of the ministry to get into the marketplace ministry. And it's been absolutely amazing.
One of the most painful conversations that we've had that haunts me to this day is when you left that church, you went to partner with an amazing organization that did national, even international financial planning.
Yeah.
And you called me one day and said, Jay, I need you to help me because the people who I'm working with are finding no success in black churches.
Absolutely.
That black churches don't want to do what's needed and necessary.
Yeah.
And even where I was pastoring at that time, we couldn't get it off the ground, couldn't make it work. And I want you to really talk through why is it such a cinder block
Yeah.
for black churches to really go into that lane of financial literacy when it ain't hard for us to ask people to tithe. If we were completely anti-giving,
Oh my goodness.
then it would make more sense. Tell me, hindsight, because you're not working full-time in a church, you're no longer with that organization.
Right.
And so you got, outside of Farrakhan, you the freest black man in America.
Hey man,
Tell me why we having this level of issue.
since we are on the Let's Be Clear,
Yes.
I want to be super clear. And please correct me if I'm wrong, because you're in this seat. I think the reason why the black church is having a hard time of accepting what I am bringing to the table, what other organizations are trying to bring to the table, is because a lot of the senior leadership of that church are not in a good, healthy place financially as well.
Wow.
And so because they're not in a good, healthy financial place, they don't want to be held accountable. And so now they stop it from going into their church, right?
Yeah.
Particularly to get the education. That wasn't you, because when I called you and said, hey, I need help, you invited me into the church the very next week.
Right.
Say, hey, yo, come on, talk.
Right.
Let's do it. And so what I'm learning, when they are healthy, they accept it, they teach it. When they're not healthy, when they are struggling, when there are some issues around that area, they don't bring it in. And then what happens is, we all know this, whatever's starting from the head is going to come all the way down.
Right.
So now we're teaching a group of people in our communities, in our church, that finances are not important. As long as you're tithing, as long as you look good, as long as you have the nice cars, as long on the outside you look a certain kind of way,
Yes.
It doesn't matter what you actually are on the inside. And if I rewind, that was my problem.
Wow.
If I go all the way back to when I was 18, 19,
Yeah.
my mom and dad never taught me this stuff because they were living paycheck to paycheck. They were struggling.
Right.
So they couldn't teach me something that they could not do themselves. And so then what happened to me? I started struggling. I became homeless. I started looking good on the outside, but on the inside, I was broke. And if we're going to really be real, I was broke because I was trying to impress ladies.
Wow.
I was broke trying to impress my friends.
Yeah.
I was broke trying to join one of the baddest fraternities in the world.
Yes.
You know,
That's not why you went broke. Let's not do that. Don't do that. But go ahead.
you know. But it's like, for me, I started trying to impress people.
Yeah.
Rather than just accept a call over my life.
Yes.
Rather than live out the fruit that I know God has called me to. And I think that's why within the African-American church, we're having a hard time, because we're really not really saying, you know what, y'all, if we can help our people get good at home, then our churches will be good. My pastor to this day has never had to ask me for any more money. He's never had to say, Anthony, we need this. Why? Because at home, I'm good. So when he puts out the call, we're building a brand new church.
Yeah.
I committed to $1 million over 4 years.
Say that again slowly.
I committed to $1 million over 4 years.
For you to give.
Me personally, not my business, Anthony Bernard O'Neill. Why? It's because at home, I'm good. And what I'm seeing is, when people are good at home, when we can help people get out of consumer debt, get control of their finances, giving will never have to be a hard stretch from the pulpit.
Yeah.
I went to this church. I won't say the name of the church, but it's a white church. And there's so many different dynamics, and you know this much better than me. Of course, we have systemic racism and some other issues that we have to argue. We have to really get fixed. But one thing that caught me was, when I went into the church, I got done preaching, they didn't raise an offering. On the way out, there's an offering bucket inside the wall, and the pastor says, hey, when you leave, put the money inside the bucket. On an annual basis, this church brings in close to $25 million, and they do not raise a specific offering. There's no time in their service or nothing like that. And in my head, I said, what, when, how can we get there?
Yes.
To where we don't have to preach a long sermon before we raise an offering. Our people are so good and so healthy that they want to give. And when I come to church, I want to give, not just my money, but my time, my resources, my influence. I want to help my church build, but it had to start at home. And I think if we can get that within a black church, to where we can help our families get good at home, man, we'll see offerings double. We'll see tithing offerings double. We'll see a surplus in income.
Now, I love it. One of the most critical things inspiring things that I saw is you posted, I don't know if this was right after the pandemic or in the pandemic, that you had bought your dream car.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
With no note.
No, pay cash.
Yes. What was the dream car?
It still is a dream car. It's a Bentley Continental.
The Bentley Continental.
Yes, sir.
So that's the day I joined your church. that's the day I said I need to be under my fearless leader. Yeah, and there was absolutely no pushback around it. It's amazing to me that nobody ever asked the question, what does my dentist drive?
None.
What does my lawyer drive? Nobody ever asked, what does the CEO drive? But there's always a standard about what does the preacher drive?
Always.
Yes.
Always.
You couldn't have had that Continental Bentley as the youth pastor.
I could not have.
Yes. I want to know in your mind, because you operate in finance, but you are a person of faith, where did we develop this stigma in this mind frame?
To this day, I still don't know. Because here's my thing. I don't care what you pull up in. Is the church healthy? Are you preaching the word of God? And are you doing the right things? I want to see my pastor and my leader winning and surviving. Why is it that it's okay for us to see, I won't say no names of any celebrities, but these celebrities drive these real nice cars, not representing the kingdom.
Right.
But we want the kingdom people to pull up in a Honda Accord. Not knocking a Honda Accord.
Right.
But shouldn't we look just as good, if not better than them, as long as we're stewarding our income correctly?
Yes.
And I struggled. When I posted that, I've never said this before in any other show. Lord Jesus, I'm going to get in trouble.
Thank you. Let's be clear. Yes.
I posted that a year after I had the car
No way.
because I was scared.
No way.
I was scared of what the kingdom was going to say.
Wow.
That Anthony O'Neal is teaching biblical finances and he went and paid $300,000 cash for a car. I was like, wait in the world, what's going on? And one of our mutual friends, who's also a big name pastor, he said, Anthony, you need to do that. He said, because people need to see what it looks like to steward their money.
Yes.
And if you're saying, hey, don't borrow money, the problem with your previous situation, it didn't look enjoyable. It was like, you got to eat beans and rice. You got to do this. Right. You can't really enjoy your life. But as a black man, if you tell me I got to drive a Honda Accord for the rest of my life to have financial freedom, I'm not listening to you.
Wow.
And I was like, but, I'm still tied to the church.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, let's post it.
But we have somehow equated righteousness with a oath of poverty. Here are the two options. You are either a oath of poverty or you're a purveyor of prosperity.
Facts.
That there is no middle class in the kingdom.
There is not.
No, you either in the 1%
or
or it's good times.
Man, listen, I'm going to be over there.
Yes.
I'm going to be over there.
Yeah.
Because here's what I have learned too. Because I pull up in a Bentley, paid for it cash, I love seeing the younger generation, black men, my barber, love him dearly. He'll see this show. He ain't saved.
Yeah.
He hood.
Yeah.
But when I pull up and I tell him, hey,
but you got waves though. He did a good job.
Hey, man, he right.
No, he did it.
Now, we
gotta pray for him.
He's right.
See if he can make mine grow back. Mine is.
We don't need a miracle for you.
Oh, listen, leave it, man. But go ahead.
We gonna need a miracle for you, man. But the conversations that start because of that.
Yeah.
He came to the church.
Wow.
And I think that's what people are missing. I've been making this kind of money since for a while.
Yes.
I lived way below my means. I saved up, bought it at the right time, bought it when I wouldn't regret it. Since then, I bought another dream car. I won't say that one, but I bought another one, paid for that one cash too. And when I pull up, what I love about it is when I step out of that car, I'm not a perfect individual, but I'm still representing the kingdom. Right. And when I can say, hey man, I paid cash for that car through the grace of God, by answering his call for my life, by living out my purpose. And if you want to get into this place, I will show you. I met him when he was working at a barbershop a year ago. Today, he has his own barbershop. He comes to the church.
Yeah.
Very active in the church. Yeah. Still growing, still maturing. But look at the conversation. If I would have pulled up in something that wasn't appealing to him, he probably would not be listening to me. Because I can say I got the money, but everything that I have doesn't relate to us as within the culture.
Right.
So I use that as a tool to demonstrate, right, who I am. But that doesn't justify someone going out and getting something to say, hey, I'm going to go buy this just so I can represent the kingdom. No, you do it when you can afford it.
My mentor, Reverend Sharpton, said to me years ago, said, I don't care what you drive. I just want to know where you're driving to. And if you get in that car, you driving past injustice and not saying nothing. You driving past the marching, you got nothing to say.
That makes sense.
That's where the disconnect is. But I don't care what you are driving. It's a matter of where you're driving to, and that thing has stuck with me. I want to go a different way because, and I want to say on record, let's be clear, I'm not dealing with the legal issue. I'm not dealing with the moral issue. I'm not dealing with the sexual issue. I want to deal with the financial issue that everybody on social media is missing.
Okay.
And the financial issue I want to deal with, Anthony, is dealing with P Diddy. On why, not about the parties, not about abuse, not about drugs, not about homosexuality. What I want to talk about is $100 million of refinance of these 3 homes that was just happened 60 days ago. How are you a brand ambassador? How are you a mogul? And you're over leveraged. So when you're dealing with balling on your level, it is not just about townhouses. It's not just about Lexus, but you got to deal with what is that economic integrity at every level of your life. My father's financial mentor, Bishop Adams, said to my dad years ago, wealth makes you more of who you are broke.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tell me what happens, because we are making, as a generation, more money than our parents had.
Absolutely.
But we have less to show for it.
Absolutely.
How does that happen that you're $100 million over leveraged?
Over leveraged. It's because of lifestyle, and it's the fact we teach as a culture how to leverage other people's money, not how to live within our means.
Wow.
We teach, hey, since you have 10 million over here, turn this 10 million into 100 million, leverage somebody else's income. But we're not saying, hey, if you're going to leverage, keep in mind of what could happen in the future. He didn't see this coming.
Yeah.
He didn't see none of this stuff coming. And so now it's like when stuff happens, now you got to adapt, adjust, and try to overcome with certain things. With me, I don't believe in using other people's money for Anthony O'Neal personally.
Right.
Simply because if life hits me today, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't have to go sell anything. I don't have to worry about nothing. I don't have no bill collectors calling me. It is all mine. I can sell everything that I have today, and I will have several 7 figures.
Yeah.
For me. But when we talk about this situation, particularly to P Diddy, he's a mogul.
Yeah.
When you are that strong of a name, have that strong of a business, it is not hard for this bank, this particular individual, to give you money because of who you are.
Yeah.
And it's not because of the money. I don't think it's what people understand. Wealthy people are not wealthy because they have a lot of money. They're wealthy because they have a lot of relationships.
Yeah.
And he was able to establish relationships that was able to lean on the strength of their name and their relationship, not on the strength of his income.
One of the most critical things that happened, there's an ongoing beef going on between Diddy and 50 Cent. And when the thing imploded, here's what's crazy. Ciroc went to 50 and asked him to take Diddy's brand ambassadorship.
Right.
Diddy said to them, almost as if he's been listening to your podcast, I don't do brand endorsements, I do ownership.
Absolutely.
And what has happened in social media, people have taken exposure to mean currency.
Yep.
And those are not the same thing. So they're Instagram rich and Bank of America poor. I want you to talk about the fantasy and the reality of social media money.
Man, you're going to get me in trouble.
Yeah. Let's be clear.
You're going to get me in trouble, man. One of the reasons why I told myself when I first transitioned from Nashville, Tennessee, won't say the name of anything else, I had Atlanta on the list, Baltimore on the list, Houston on the list, Dallas, Texas on the list. Atlanta was immediately gone. Immediately gone.
On what list?
To move to.
Oh, okay.
2 reasons. Let's be clear. Number 1, I'm single, young, successful, wealthy. I'm going to be a hoe. 2, I feel as if Atlanta is fake. Because a lot of influencers on social media go and finance and rent cars, put it on Instagram, and then they're saying, hey, let me teach you how to make $1 million. You don't own the car that you're even on Instagram with.
Yeah, my pushback now as an Atlantic. I got to represent my city.
I knew he was going to come for it.
It's just, listen.
You passed it.
Listen. Forbes magazine and Black Enterprise this week said the number one place if you want to start a business
I saw.
is Atlanta. Are you saying Forbes and Black Enterprise is a lie?
No. I believe that when you look at the generations and when you look at, we were just at the conference.
Pastors and leaders.
Yeah, what's the name of the
John O'Brien.
John Bryant
Yes.
is here. What was the name of the guy, the mayor, the former mayor?
Manager Andrew Young.
Andrew Young.
Yes.
I believe that there are a group of people, a large group of people in Atlanta that is really winning.
Yes.
I'm talking about when it comes to the social media world, this millennial generation and Gen Z generation, they identify success on how am I winning on social media?
Yeah.
How am I being portrayed? Now, once I get married, I would love to move to Atlanta. It's just a beautiful city.
Yes.
But when I think about just in general,
Are you engaged?
no.
Oh, I didn't know if you was okay.
Once I get married, I will.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was coming down the pipe.
Real.
Okay.
Down the pipe. I got to find a woman first.
I didn't know. I didn't know if you were leaking something first here. I had no idea.
Let's be clear. I'm single.
Okay. All right.
But
Welcome to the Home Shopping Network. Yes, go go right ahead.
But I'm just saying, for me, that was one of the struggles of why I didn't want to put the Bentley on social media, because I didn't want to lead with that. I want to lead with reality. I want to lead with truth. I want to lead with like, hey, if you steward your money, if you budget your money, if you really manage your money well, track your money well, start a business and steward that well, you will be successful. But what we do see within this millennial and younger generation is, hey, I got the car. Hey, if you want to get this, then let me teach you this. And we got to be very, very careful with truth, reality, and fakeness. And that's something that I am even myself trying to make sure that I watch, that I'm doing, because some people may not understand what I'm doing. So even certain things I will not put on social.
But there's another side to it I need you to untap. When you look at people like Country Wayne,
Yep.
who has built literally an empire on social media.
Yep.
So there are pockets of hope.
Yes.
Is there a way you think that has sustainability of economic growth through social media?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm on social media, and that's my number one paid platform. When you look at YouTube, when you look at podcasts, when you look at Instagram and TikTok, I mean, that is a 7-figure business for me.
Wow.
Just that alone, right? And so for me, when I look at Country Rain, I love what he's doing with taking his skits. I love how he's just being himself, and not just himself, but he's bringing on other people and making them 7 figures as well. So I do believe that there is a way to make money on social media. And I believe parents watching this right now, if their kids are going on social media saying, hey, I'm going to win over here, do this on YouTube, encourage it, because it is a business that can be profitable. But I think getting the right wisdom, like a Country Rain, like yourself, like me, I think we could definitely win on it.
They are projecting by 2036, the net worth of Black families will be at zero.
Yep, zero or negative.
Negative zero.
Yes.
How is that possible we have more Black people educated than we've ever had.
Yeah.
Black women are the lead entrepreneurs in the country.
Yep.
We are now have a greater number of African Americans in the stock market than we've ever had.
Yeah.
How would that even be in the realm of possibility?
Number one is because from what I'm seeing with the African American culture, we're the last person to learn what's coming in the future. Prime example, AI now. So they're saying if Black people are not tapping into AI, we are going to lose out on income. One thing I'm doing within my business is I literally hired someone, and it is their job to only find us AI stuff.
Wow.
That's it. It is his job to literally say, you know what, Anthony, we're going to use this in the business. We're going to use this to help the infrastructure of the Neatness Network. So that's one reason why they're saying by 2036, some are saying by 2054, that we would have zero to negative net worth, because we're the last person to learn what's coming in the future. Number two, consumer debt. We're not buying homes. We're not getting into real estate. We are literally just surviving. I believe that Black people, we're not really wasting our money. We're trying to survive. Trying to survive meaning we're not really taking the opportunity to learn how to generate other income. And so those are the two main reasons when we look at the study, they're saying we're not tapping into the AI generation. By not tapping into that, we're losing jobs, we're losing income, we're being placed by automatic machines rather than learning what AI can do and taking on that job. And then two, we're not really taking control of our finances. We're not investing at all.
Wow. I am really dizzy by it and disillusioned because I'm not seeing anything particular out of the church. They're saying the sky is falling.
Right.
Joseph said it's going to be 7 years of harvest, but then we got 7 years of lean years.
Yeah.
And I never hear the church is always fiscally reactionary, but never operating in what I want to call economic prophecy.
Yes, sir.
To say, hey, let's tie you down and really get it together in a real significant place.
Yeah.
With the shift that has happened in post-pandemic life, what would you say is, for young adults, is the first three things that they need to be doing now?
When it comes to money or just life?
Money.
Number one, I would definitely say I teach this philosophy when it's called earn. A lot of young people are thinking that they're earning money and they're not really earning anything. And when I teach earn, the very first thing in earn is to eat. You got to evaluate your finances. We cannot progress forward if we're not taking the time to evaluate where we currently are financially.
Yeah.
Some of us are embarrassed to look at our credit report. We're embarrassed to look at our last 3 bank statements to see where's our money going, what are we doing, what's actually going on. But if we don't evaluate where we currently are, then we're going to have a problem. We can never progress anything. Then when you look at the letter A, it's called arrange the vision. Now, you can't go anywhere if you don't know.
Y'all got to be writing this down. We already at A. Get a pen real quick. Go ahead.
So it's like once you evaluate your current financial situation, then I need you to arrange the vision. Where am I going? What am I doing 20 years from now, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, by this time next year? I know what's on my schedule for 2026.
Wow.
I already know what I'm going to be doing in 2027. My company and I, when we spent time in December, my team and I, we didn't plan for 2024. We planned for 2025. We already know. So we're arranging a vision. So young people, if they want to win financially, if you're living for tomorrow, that's backwards. You should be living for next year. This year should have already been planned out a long time ago. So once you arrange the vision, then this is how you build wealth.
Yeah.
Right? You got to render the strategy. Out of all of my millionaires, one billionaire mentor and friend of mine, everything that he teaches me, when I call him and ask him a question, what's the strategy? He said, Anthony, I didn't build this wealth because I got up every single day and I worked 24 hours a day. No. When I made money, I put a strategy in place to teach my money how to make more money.
Wow.
And so for me, that's what I'm teaching young people. And that's what I tell everyone is, hey, you really got to sit back and render the strategy, render the system that's going to produce your money. In the daytime, I'm making money. At sleep, my money is making me money. That's the strategy for me. And then the end, I know you said 3, then the end is now act. I believe African Americans, we're the most creative group of people in the world. White people can't touch us. There's no other race that can touch us. But the problem is we don't get the right strategy and we don't know how to execute and move. And so if we can really get the right strategy in place, I think the roles will flip. Roles will be there.
Now, in the leadership conference you and I were in recently, somebody said, plan for years, but work in days.
Absolutely.
Is that the timetable has got to be shrunk wrapped for you to be able to move away from the social media notion, rise and grind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to rise and plan.
Absolutely. I from my company, in the beginning, I was working in it. Now I work on it.
Tell me what that means.
Working in it means I was waking up every single day and I was doing the hard labor. Now I have people who work in it. I'm up top and I'm casting vision.
Yeah.
This is where we're going to be at 2025, 2026, 2030, 2036. I'm at the top dreaming, having a vision, not just in the business, but even for my own personal life as well.
Yeah.
So I bought some real estate recently in Dubai and I said, you know, when I get married, I want to move to Dubai for a year, live and experience God in that area. I'm already thinking about 5 years from now, right?
Did you see that Dubai release yesterday?
Yes, sir. I saw it.
Currency that's in gold.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That you can't use it in a store.
Can't use it in the store.
You just have it. I'm digressing. So go right ahead. Yeah.
But, you know, there's so much to life. And so for me, when I wake up every single day, I reset. Everyone celebrates January 1. I celebrate July 1st. That's my birthday.
Oh, wow.
And I'm always thinking about what's next for Anthony O'Neal for this year, for the next year. I'm always thinking about years in advance. I'm always thinking about the strategy. I'm always thinking about what's going to take me and my family to the next level. I don't care about, what shoes I have on. Don't care about what cars I'm driving. I'm thinking about how do I position myself at 39 years old, turning 40 this year, a single man, successful. The last thing I want to do is meet my wife, and I'm not prepared to build something with her.
Yeah.
And I think if young people, we can maximize our youth and our season that we're currently in, our 60, 70, 80-year-old self would say, thank you so much. Because if we really look at it, there was a study that came out and said that 73% of African Americans at the age of 80, when they unfortunately pass away, 73% of them don't have an estate plan. They don't have an adequate amount of life insurance.
Wow.
So they're leaving their families with bills and partial benefits.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, that should not be the case for me. So I'm already maxed out on all my life insurance policies. I'm already thinking about what's inside of my estate plan, what's inside of my trust, to where if something was to happen to me today, my family's taken care of it at 80, but we're there, surpass it. So those are the three things I would tell a lot of people, not just young people, but a lot of people, is you earning. Now, here's my thing. Everyone is trying to earn more money. I don't care about the money. I want to earn more time back.
Wow.
That's what I'm striving for.
I've never heard that before.
I'm not trying to earn more money.
Yeah.
I'm trying to earn my time back. I don't want to have to wake up every single day and I got to go to work for 4, 8, 10, 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
No, sir. I want to wake up one day and I get to choose if I want to work an hour today.
No, that's great.
I don't want to have to get up and exchange my time for money. I want to position myself to where my money buys back my time.
No, that's
great.
great.
That's the end goal for me.
John Hope Bryant said something the other day. He said entrepreneurs work 18 hours a day so they don't have to go to work. Mm-hmm. And that thing has resonated with me. I think the best New York Times bestseller book that has not been written, I'm giving it to you for free.
Okay, I'm going to take it down right now.
I'm telling you, it's the best book that has never been published. You heard it right here. Is How to Make It Without a Mentor. A whole lot of people have these ideas, have these dreams, have these concepts, but they don't have $1 million friends or $1 billion friends or entrepreneurial, industrious friends. How do you make it, Anthony? And I don't have this person to call or to email or to take the lunch. Tell me, how do I make it with no mentor?
You do. You do have a mentor.
Okay.
You don't have them on your phone, but you got the mentor. If you're living in Atlanta, you're not coming to New Birth, you're crazy.
Say that again. Y'all freeze that.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Yes.
Like, if you're living in Atlanta and you're saying, I need a spiritual father, I need a spiritual mentor, and you're not coming to Atlanta, you're crazy. Here's why. I don't have to talk to you on the phone to get your anointing, to get your touch, to get your wisdom. You preach it every single Sunday.
Wow.
You're talking about it on the podcast. You're giving me the information. I think people forget the first access point to a mentor is get in the room. Just get in the room.
Yeah.
Once you get in the room and you steward that room well, God will get you closer and closer and closer when you need to be.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we miss out on mentors because we think we miss out because I can't physically touch or physically call Dr. Jamal Bryant.
Yeah.
But that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I knew you for years before I met you.
Yeah.
I didn't get to talk to you until I got into the room.
Yeah.
When I got into the room and God saw fit for you to be in my life specifically, that's when it happened. But God is not going to just say, you know what? I'm going to put Dr. Jamal Bryant on your heart. And I'm just sitting out there on the street. No, I had to get inside the room. I think a lot of people miss that opportunity. Get in the room, listen to the podcast, read the book. When they have a conference, get to the conference. And from there, allow God to open up those doors.
Yeah, you got to have what I call remote control mentors.
Absolutely.
Those are people you connect with who you are not connected to.
Yes, sir.
So pre-scandal, let me say this, pre-scandal, my remote control mentor was Diddy. Because watch the pattern that many people miss. Every time he changes his name, he introduces a new brand.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I was on a 4-year cycle.
Yep.
Because those of us who are the kids of hip hop, notice what the cycle is.
Yep.
Is I move from Bad Boy to Sean John Close.
Yeah. Yeah.
I go from Sean John Close to Chirac.
Yep.
I go from Chirac into Revolt.
Yep.
It was a reintroduction.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
It's a reintroduction. So the last iteration of it, he didn't live up to his name. No. He called it love when it was really lust.
Yeah.
So you got to see, what do you do from those mentors to change your place in relevance? Nobody's going to give the man credit because we forget people when they're going through their valley experiences, that this is somebody who was relevant for 30 years.
30.
For 30 years. And so you're seeing it happen again with Beyonce's intentionality of to be successful in genres outside of what I am known for.
Good God.
And so every time it is that you find yourself bumping your head on the wall, that we will, tonight on CNN, USA Today, they are going to call Diddy in this scandal a music mogul who hasn't done an album in 15 years. His wealth is not from records.
It's not. It's not.
So you got to figure out what is the greater brand
Yes, sir.
beyond the package.
Behind the back. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Every person, Anthony, who has hit this $1 billion mark in Black America does not have one stream of income.
No.
And their stream of income is outside of their area of expertise.
Absolutely.
Nobody in the world, my children, myself, the people who are doing production in this room, know Kanye for music.
Yep.
He is a billionaire from tennis shoes.
Yes, sir.
Listen, but here's what's crazy, Anthony.
Right.
Last week, he signed the biggest deal for Nike ever. He's making more money than Michael Jordan.
Yes, sir.
In this new deal, and has never dribbled a ball.
And never.
So your wealth does not even have to match your brand,
Nope.
your expertise,
Nope.
your passion,
Yep.
here's the drum roll, or your experience.
But stay right there, though. They're billionaires, and it's not in their expertise, but they got surrounded with the people
man.
that it was their expertise. And so he leveraged his name.
Come on.
And said, hey, you know what? You are in the shoes. I'm gonna blow it up over here, but you're gonna be the brains behind it.
A good name.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, if you can focus on building your name and keeping that name solid and stewarding that name, get people around you who are smarter and wiser than you in different areas, and leverage those relationships. Another one of my machines that's a 7-figure machine. I'm honestly, I can say it, be honest with you, I'm the dumbest one in the room.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not smart at all. But because I have a name, I can pull that in and produce income from it. But really, it's two people who are smarter than me in that area. And they're like, hey, Anthony, let's just do a 70-30 split. I'm like, 70-30? Who get the 70? Right. You know, like if I'm going to push it, I get the 70.
You're right.
So that's producing 7 figures for me. It's also producing 7 figures for them. So for me, I'm always looking at ways, okay, how can I leverage different relationships? I believe in multiple streams of income. But here's the thing, to get successful multiple streams of income, you have to kill one thing.
Yes.
You have to.
Yes.
Because if you don't kill that one thing, you're not going to build something that you can leverage outside of it.
Here's the reality. As Bishop Jakes did not make his name on real estate.
He did. He did.
Mastered Woman Thou Art Loose.
He sure did.
And from Woman Thou Art Loose goes to the cover of Time magazine. Is this the most influential man since Billy Graham? And learn how it is that you monetize on mastering that one thing. The other part, Anthony, I don't want to miss, is Kanye West was able to amass this without having a good name.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that is because we have equated success with perfection.
Right.
You know, he's had more cancellations than Jet Magazine.
Hey, man, listen.
When it is that you know what it is that your value is.
Absolutely.
And how you bring that to the table.
Absolutely.
You still can commandeer. To walk across the street and say, I'm leaving Adidas.
Yep.
I'm not even talking to Reebok.
Nope.
I'm going straight to Nike.
Absolutely.
And you're going to pay me what I'm worth and add tax. After the entire Jewish community has canceled you. That's bravado at a whole nother place. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, they're going to have to put Kanye West at Wharton School of Business to say, who did it?
But you know what, though? People can't argue success.
Yeah.
They just can't.
Yeah.
And if he touches it, it's going to be successful. Name is not the best,
Yes.
but he is successful.
Yeah.
When he touches something, it's going to win. And that's how Kanye West is winning. That's why I'm trying to get there myself as well, with a good name, though.
Yes. And I think that's the disconnect, Anthony, the church has missed. Is the church thinks you'll only make it if your name is perfect.
Well, my name ain't perfect. I know that.
I'm redeemed by the blood. It's swimming all through this studio. I'm telling you, it's swimming all through the studio. I want to offer something that I think is going to catch a straight bullet. I think that aiding and abetting to the crime of gentrification, the guilt is on the hands of the black church. I'm going to say that again. The only way black neighborhoods are being gentrified is that black church is on that corner.
Yeah.
But they not buying up them houses.
They're not.
Yeah, so forget the NAACP, forget the Urban League, forget Operation Push.
Yeah.
If the church was buying out the block,
Come on, man.
there wouldn't be any gentrification.
There wouldn't be. There would not be.
Yeah.
But how do we get there, though?
Yeah, I think that it is a partnership between what it is that you were doing
Yeah.
and what it is that we saying is right across the street from the old black churches, those of you not from the inner city,
Yeah.
in rural country communities, the black church would own the cemetery. You start driving out into the fields, the biggest cemetery was in the backyard of that black church.
So we can own,
We own
Death.
where death is.
but we don't own where life is.
Yes. Yes.
That's not even biblical.
No. So right down the street from the church is a check cashing station.
Sure is.
Is the liquor store.
Sure is.
Is the pawn shop.
Sure is.
So we seeing the for sale signs. And I don't even want to deal with the fact that now for these black churches, the congregants are only driving to the hood to go to church.
Absolutely.
Or the flip model on why are all the mega churches moving to the suburbs. Come on now. It's,
Let's be clear.
ain't no inner city mega church. Where is it?
There isn't one. When I think about it, out of all the mega churches I've been to,
No.
was it your previous situation in it?
Listen, and we was in a business park. We was in the cut. Hide.
You're right.
I got security. Listen, and not because it was a threat on me. I didn't want the cars. That's why we had a security ministry. The Kia is the #1 stolen car in Baltimore. I promise you. Your insurance is higher for a Kia in Baltimore than it is for a
goodness. Yo.
It is the most stolen car.
Wow.
Yeah. So if we want to stop gentrification, the church has got to really see itself as a real estate development office.
No, I think so too. And the church has to have more ownership in the community.
Yes.
We got to buy homes. We got to bring up more schools. We need to actually own buildings.
Yes.
Like I'm talking about, I know several pastors, not a whole lot, but several, a couple of them in Jacksonville, a couple of them in Chicago, who actually own business. What is his name? I forgot his name. His son's name is David. But they
In
own,
Jacksonville?
No, in Chicago. They own Bill Winston.
Yes.
They own the whole situation.
Oh, yes.
They're getting paid rent from I'm like, okay, that's kingdom.
That's kingdom, but it's also background. So what people don't know is Bill Winston came out of banking.
Yeah.
He came out of corporate life.
Yes,
and
sir.
I want to take a moment and say Bill Winston came out of the AME church. So I'm going to take credit for Bill Winston. But no, it's the mind frame. One of the things I've been harping on, I teach a doctoral group at Payne Seminary.
Okay.
And one of the things that I harp on is seminaries don't teach business.
They don't.
I got to New Birth, I didn't know what I was doing.
Wow.
I had no plot, strategy, or understanding on how to eradicate debt.
Yeah.
And we forget that every disciple was bivocational.
Absolutely.
They had to have some level of experience before they walked into ministry.
Yes, sir.
Because we have shrunk rap ministry to being orators.
Yeah.
And not understanding what is the business of ministry and how it is that you move. The Catholic Church is the wealthiest company in the world beyond Apple. They own more real estate in the world because they got a secret that black churches got to learn.
Yeah.
Is they get the people in the church to include the church in their will. The Catholic Church is the largest real estate owner in the world. The second one is McDonald's.
Yep.
McDonald's is not in the hamburger business.
Sure not. In real estate business.
They're in the real estate business.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you imagine what it would look like for Kojic, AME, Baptist, Apostolic to realize what is our real value?
Yes, sir.
And what do we bring into the earth to really establish kingdom on earth?
On earth. And it's not just the real estate part. It's just, I think, when I go back to what you said, it's the business part.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with having a nonprofit, but then also generating a level of income to help the business do ministry.
Yes.
I see a lot of churches skipping out, not just on real estate, but then also even taking advantage of YouTube. Do you know how much money is in YouTube?
Yes. As a consequence, please subscribe and follow right now, Jamal Bryant. Let's be clear on YouTube, as you were saying.
You know, but I'm just saying, for you, for a church, if they reached out to someone like myself and said, hey, come spend 2 days with me, I could teach them how to turn their YouTube business into a 7-figure machine for the church.
Well, tell me the 2 days you got, Anthony.
No, I'm
I
so
need
serious.
2 days. I'm dead serious.
Because I think about what, not only will you grow your ministry as far as in touching more lives, now you're generating income to continue touching more lives.
I need 2 days, Anthony.
We only see the YouTube, we only see social media, we only see certain things as, is it ministry? But I'm like, wait a minute, you could do way more if you understood the concept of business.
Wow.
And so that's one thing that I'm really, really hoping that churches get is like, hey, not only are we missing out on the business side of things, we're also missing out on educating our families. Because I laughed when you said the Catholic Church are teaching their people how to put, themselves inside the will. My church is inside my estate plan. Yes. If I pass, when that happens,
you need
my church
membership. I need you to have membership now.
Hey man, listen, I'm loyal. I'm loyal to the Union Church, man. That's my church.
It's all right.
But it's like when I pass, I want the kingdom here on earth to be blessed as I'm going to the kingdom in heaven. And so I didn't have to be told or asked because I'm already healthy at home. And so my mom and dad was like, well, why are you giving it to the church? And I said, well, how come you're not?
Wow.
Like, why are you not? You're tithing.
Yes.
And so there's like, well, we should decide. No. My estate plan will say the very first check before it goes to my mom, my dad, my wife, if I have one at that time, any kids, nephews, anyone else, it goes to the church. 10% of all of my stuff goes cash to the church.
You tithing in death.
In death.
I can't even get Negroes to tithe in life.
But here's the thing that I've learned though. My money blew up when I understood whose it was in the first place.
Man, listen.
So I'm not giving away my money. It's his.
Are you free on Sunday at 9:30?
No, I'm serious. So it's like, I'm like, okay, God, you're taking me home. It's still my money. I just now, in my estate plan, I have to steward it well. 10% goes straight to the church. After it goes to the church, it's not even going to my parents' end. The next portion would take care of my staff and my team that God called me to steward.
Wow.
So it's like, if I pass, I want to make sure that, hey, they can transition well if something was to happen.
Yeah.
So they're all going to get 3 months paid, everything taken care of.
Wow.
To get things situated. After the church is taken care of, after that's taken care of, my family is next. Of course, my wife is first and foremost if we have it.
Yes.
But in this season of my life, being a single man, church first, staff next, then after that, family will get it. But for me, it's I'm learning, I'm growing, and I understand that none of this is mine. The 100% of what I make, it is not mine. 10% goes back to God. The other 90% is still not mine. I'm just called to steward it well. And so if the church understood, hey, this building is not ours, God is calling us to steward it, how do we, 1, get real estate? How do we, 2, make more money so we can do more ministry? And 3, we can be more of a blessing to the people. Period.
On the 20th anniversary of the album release of Biggie Smalls' Life After Death, thank you so very much. This has really stretched me in ways that I got to reevaluate some things of how it is that I process, how it is that I plan, and how it is that I move, knowing that there's a whole lot that falls on our shoulders.
Yes, sir.
I'm grateful. I hope that you all got to earn down that acronym. If you missed it, go back and listen to it again. and make sure that you follow, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm grateful to have you with us, and I need 2 days from you.
Amen.
And I need a Sunday morning for you to just
let me know.
Share.
I'm coming.
Yes.
I don't preach.
Those
like
of you who have not done estate planning, it'll be out in the lobby before it is that you leave. I'm grateful for you. Stay locked in. You have been listening to Jamal Bryant's podcast, Let's Be Clear, with my amazing brother, Anthony O'Neill. See you next time.
Yes, sir.